Hi everybody, I'm Vicki. I've went over this so many times on what's going to be the best way to do it. The more I do it, the more relaxed I'll get with it. But I was talking to Lester and I was wondering if people would be interested in hearing somebody who constantly has to battle cancer. So let me tell you a little bit. I was furloughed from my job of 12 years on January 24th at 2:30 in the afternoon. It was a Friday. It was a job that I never thought I would leave until I retired. I even moved from one state to another for this job, and then 5 years later I didn't have the job, but I'm still in the state. That January 24th, 2020, I don't know if I said that part. So me being a union employee, I was able to get protective benefits, which means as long as I'm furloughed, I get paid my regular salary. So I was not in too big of a hurry to get a job. So then I woke up one morning in late February and I rolled over and my right breast kind of hit my arm, and I thought, well, that feels like a knot. So I felt it, and sure enough it was. And that very day, I got on the phone trying to find anybody I needed to find to get things going for a mammogram and to find out what it was. And I found an OBGYN, and she saw me pretty quick. And we started from there. On March 2nd of 2020, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And if you remember, that's about the time that COVID started hitting. And I knew it was pretty bad when everybody else's cancer surgery and treatments was being canceled, but mine wasn't. I was actually pretty scared when it dawned on me that everybody else was, not that serious. But here I am, March 26th, I had my right breast removed. I knew it was aggressive. They told me that it was a grade 3, I think is what they call it, which means it's very aggressive. So we did that, and Lord, those drains were such a pain. The emotions that I went through then wasn't too bad. I was just mostly upset about the drains. You just, all of a sudden, you have hardly any drainage, and then all of a sudden, boom. And in the span of about 30 minutes, you have to drain that little bulb like 5 times because it just fills up so fast. And all it is that you've went through a pocket of where the fluid has built up, but it scares the death out of you at the moment. So after that, I had to have 4 rounds of chemo, 1 every 3 weeks. That was, the first week wears you down. The second week, your body is starting to recuperate, and then on the 3rd week, you have it again. So 4 rounds wasn't, I would just look at my ex and I would say, I'm sorry, I got to go to sleep. And I'd lay down and go to sleep. Then I got better. They said I was cancer free. Well, that second time around was a lot rougher and harder than the first time around. Excuse me. I had to have 8 rounds of chemo, and I had to have it every week. But the difference was I should have had 12 rounds, and somehow I agreed to double the dose on one of them. The first 4 weekly doses were something called Red Devil, and another one, I don't have the information in front of me. Red Devil, for anybody who knows, has to be put in an IV. You have to have a IV in your arm, and then the nurse will sit there and use a syringe and slowly push it in your body. She will also cover your skin, because if that stuff falls on your skin, it's going to eat it away. So I'm thinking, how does it not eat the inside of your body? But it makes you sick. So then 4 weeks later, we switched to a different kind, and I don't remember the name of that, I guess. I will put all of that stuff in the description. After another 4 weeks of the other chemo, I started 28 rounds of radiation. All of this time, me and my ex were doing okay. We weren't doing the best because we were around each other 24/7 because he never found a job. And, you know, I had my temporary railroad disability. So I had an income, and I didn't feel like working and couldn't work. So we were around each other so much that it started causing problems. And then, then we got to week 28, to the week of the 28th treatment. Walked in on that Monday and was supposed to have my last treatment on Thursday. And that's when the two techs piped up and says, "Oh, don't you know you have to have 5 more treatments?" At that moment, I truly thought about just giving up. I didn't want to do it anymore. You would have thought, going as far as I did, I would look at it like 5 more treatments, what's the big deal? But nope. I had to pray long and hard because I didn't want to do it anymore. It was too much. But I did. I toughed it out. And on December 2nd, when I finished the chemo, I was considered cancer-free. And then there was a break, and then I started the radiation. And that lasted through February 10th, or maybe the following week, for the additional 5 treatments. And right around then, I got my denial on my disability, and I had to start looking for a job.